Howdy there folks, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Steven, and today we're going to go over the Savage 110, or more specifically this rifle, the Savage 110 Trophy Hunter, and it came as an XP package that was, I believe, exclusive through Cabela's. Anyways, let's get things started by going over some of the basic fit, feel, and function and specs of this rifle, and then later in this video we'll take it out to the range and see how it performs. So starting at the buttstock, you have a very hard rubber recoil pad or butt pad. It's only about maybe a ½ inch thick. And then coming forward, you have a very traditional stock design here. It's made of walnut wood, has a metal sling swivel stud at the base here. Checkering in the grip area so you can grab it easier when your hands are wet. A plastic trigger guard and plastic bottom metal. With a Accu trigger that is user adjustable. If you push in on this tab on the front, you can remove this detachable magazine. It has a plastic bottom, plastic follower, but metal sidewalls. You know, it works all right. The tab at the front is pretty chintzy in my opinion and wants to stick just a little bit, but not too terrible. Then you have reinforcements in the walnut stock here and here. But I could not find any pillar bedding or glass bedding when I removed this receiver from the stock. You have a receiver that's made of bar stock essentially, and then it has a recoil lug sandwiched between the barrel and the receiver, and this uses a barrel nut system. So it is pretty easy to swap out the barrels on these Savages. It features a Tang 2-position safety. Put it to the rear, a 3-position safety. Put it to the rear, locks the bolt in place, which I love to see. One forward, you can remove the bolt, but you cannot fire. All the way forward, you can fire the firearm. It does have a 90-degree bolt throw, knurled handle that is all metal on the bolt itself, and it has a very smooth bolt on this rifle actually, and it is jeweled. To remove the bolt on these can be a little tricky. First, you have to press down the trigger, push in this button on the front of the trigger guard all the way, and then you can remove the bolt. Has 2 locking lugs, a floating bolt head, and then it has a little claw extractor in there and a plunger ejector. Like I said, the bolt is jeweled, so it is quite pretty, very well polished. To put that bolt back in place, you basically have to reverse the process. You have to push down the trigger, push in that button, and then push the bolt in. The 90-degree throw on this, you know, the lift isn't that hard. It doesn't have as much catch as, say, a Savage Axis bolt action rifle, but it does, you know, have a handle that really sticks up high. And so if you have a shark fin or a quick throw lever on your magnification dial on your scope or really bulky scope, that can cause quite some issues with these Savage 110s. It has a matte blued finish, a fully free-floated barrel on this, and in 7mm Remington mag, which this rifle is, it's a 24-inch barrel, and it's not threaded for a muzzle brake, and it looks to have a sporter contour barrel. Does have a metal sling swivel stud in the front here, very traditional forend, some checkering for added grippiness. And in 7mm Remington mag, I could only find weights that included a scope and scope rings, and it came in at 9.5 pounds with that. So dressed out, basically you can expect this rifle to be about 9.5 pounds. It does feature a 3+1 mag capacity, and in 7mm mag, this came with a rifle twist of 1 in 9.5. All right, let's take this out to the range and see how it performs. Shooting good, sub MOA. All right, folks, so now that we're back from the range, let's go over how it performed. So, was it capable of sub-MOA accuracy at 100 yards using premium factory ammunition? Yes. Was it difficult to achieve? A little bit, but I was very fatigued on the day I was shooting this. I had shot tons of rifles and my shoulder was already very sore and I was flinching quite a bit. So keep that in mind. Also, this rifle is not forgiving at all in 7mm Remington mag. It has a very hard rubber, slim profile recoil pad, and man, this thing bucks and it hurts to shoot this, especially considering it doesn't come with a muzzle brake and it's not threaded for one. So this is a very unforgiving rifle in my opinion to shoot in the Magnum calibers, but if you got to thread and put a muzzle brake on, or added an aftermarket butt pad, might not be too bad. That being said, it extracted, it fed, it functioned, and it shot pretty dang good considering all the factors, and I actually really like this trigger. Has that center trigger blade, if you can see that right there, and it is user adjustable. Let's go ahead and see what this weighs in at. Weighs in at 2 pounds, 6.4 ounces. So nice, light, crisp and clean trigger. I would say, in my opinion, the Savage 110 is a little bit underrated. They have a ton of different variants. I mean, like tons of different models out there with all different style stocks and threaded barrels, you name it, and different contours of barrels. So there's plenty of options on the market in the Savage 110 and 111. And I do think it's a little underrated. They're usually extremely accurate out of the box and quite affordable. That being said, the negatives would be the fact that the bolt on these sometimes feel a little bit chintzy, and the bolt lift with that handle really has a tendency to catch modern scopes with large magnification rings or quick throw levers. That being said though, overall pretty happy with this rifle and it's a solid performer. Hope you enjoyed this review of the Savage 110 Hunter XP with the walnut stock. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.